state budget is due tomorrow, and as negotiations continue, a few sticking points remain.
Natalie Kuchko joining us now after hearing from lawmakers about what those issues are and where the timeline stands today. Natalie.
Hi, Adam. Teresa, two members of the State Assembly tell me they will go back into session tomorrow to likely vote on an extender. We have certainly seen this before, but how long that timeline will go for and last is still yet to be determined. Time is winding down on the state's deadline to pass the 2025 executive budget. Should the deal get pushed back, some of our state lawmakers representing communities here at home, they are weighing in.
Right now, we're in negotiations in connection with 4 large policy issues that the governor has proposed. Those include the discovery rules. They include the involuntary commitment of people with mental health conditions. It also includes the bell-to-bell cell phone bans for our students. And then lastly is what started as a suggested mask ban, but now the governor has moved to wanting to create an additional new law for if you commit an assault and you have intentionally masked to make sure that your identity couldn't be determined.
Democratic Assemblymember Harry Bronson says he anticipates the budget will be finalized by early next week at the latest. As negotiations press forward, Republican Assemblymember Josh Jensen shares some concerns on meeting in the middle.
It seems like negotiations that could be happening simultaneously cease until there's an agreement on the policy, which makes for an inefficient process. Certainly, I think that the budget process would be a lot smoother if all stakeholders in the legislature were at the table negotiating in a bipartisan fashion, because it shouldn't matter where the votes to pass things come from, as long as the votes exist. So certainly, I think we'd be able to find more common ground.
Among the more notable potential policy changes, restriction on cell phone use during instruction. That will be up to individual public school districts to put into place.
I think it's very similar to years past. What seems to be, once we get to March 31st, April 1st, it seems like negotiations are being done strictly on policy. And when we're talking about a budget that's going to be over $250 billion, instead of talking about how we're going to use taxpayer dollars efficiently and effectively, we're negotiating over things that could be done as standalone pieces of legislation at any time.
Oftentimes you hear complaints about extenders, but the reality is we'd much rather have a good budget for our families than necessarily an on-time budget.
Again, the hope from lawmakers I heard from today to get this finalized by early next week. Of course, time will tell on that. Be sure to stay with us here at News 8 as we follow the developments on air and online at rochesterfirst.com. Back to you.